Hey, what's up guys? Level Up here at OnPointTactical. This is video number 101. That very last video that is in the process of being uploaded along with this one was video number 100, which was amazing. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. I do want to talk about the big Battlefield 4 update that's coming out. Now, DICE has been very outspoken with the community about the fact that they're working on fixing the game that we've been playing. And a couple of the things that they've been looking at changing looks like that update will be pushed like any minute now. From now through like the 4th day of February is when it is basically expected to be pushed, and we're going to have to download and install it. Now, it should address some matters like netcode, hit detection, the hitboxes on character models, and other little destruction annoyances like hitboxes of buildings still existing after they've fallen down, so you're shooting a wall that isn't there any longer. Things like that will be addressed. But there is a forum on Battlelog, and I will send a link to it, where DICE is actually holding a vote on some things that need to be changed, and Alan Kurtz, or I can't pronounce his name properly, he is on his official Twitter page taking requests, at least so I've heard. So I would head over there and tell him what you think. As far as changes that are important that I hope are coming, hopefully we're going to see a change to the DMRs. Hopefully we'll see a damage increase with those weapons. Hopefully we'll see something done to the PDWs to just get them up a little bit. They're a little lacking in their current state. And other things like that. We're going to see probably some vehicle balances. Most likely we're going to see a flare change on the helicopters, I would say. And we may be seeing a change on a couple of the different anti-tank rocket launchers. And I am totally for that, if that's the direction that they want to take. However, I don't know if this is going to be enough. Now, this isn't going to be the big weapon balance patch that we're going to see. This is going to be a bug fix patch more than anything. And it's going to be a patch that makes every last one of us, PC, 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One, on the same version of Battlefield 4. Right now, we're all playing a little bit different of a version depending on what console you're on. Or console or platform, I guess I should say, if you're on the PC. There's little differences in between the different versions, and the console version that I've been playing on PlayStation 4 is a little bit behind, but hopefully we're going to see that addressed, and DICE is saying that they're going to keep all the platforms on an equal patch probably from now until the end of the game. But of course, if the consoles fall behind, I get it. Like, the mainstream of their market is PC gamers, and they have a lot more to work on the PC because of all the different hardware, the different software, you know, different drivers that people are running. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on the PC side of things, so I'm not going to be too awful upset if the consoles fall a little bit behind on updates and patches and different changes that need to be made. That's totally understandable if that's how it winds up being, but then again, hopefully we won't have to see it get to that point. A couple things that I want to be addressed in a later on patch. Like I said, the PDWs, they need a bit of a buff to get them up. I think that we need to go back to more of a Bad Company 2 balance standpoint with the PDWs, raise their close quarter damage model just a bit to get them on top of the assault rifles in extreme close quarters, and then let them drop back off at longer ranges so that the assault rifles and the carbines have an advantage over the PDWs at those ranges. If that's the way that they want to handle it, that is completely fine with me. But let your voice be heard. Go on to Battlelog, post all over the forums. You know, it's a little bit late in the game, but it looks like they're still taking in requests, so I would say that the final build of the patch will probably be pushed within the next 3 or 4 days. So be ready for the update, and hopefully we will be enjoying the game a bit more after that. The hit detection is a little poor right now as far as the hitboxes and the character models actually being in the same place at once. It doesn't happen all that often. Server stability on Conquest Large on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, that needs to be addressed. I don't know if you know, but yesterday they were running stress tests on the servers. Saturday and Sunday they were running stress tests, so I hope you got your gameplay time in, and it's going to help them address some of the areas on their servers that aren't ready for the stress. We're watching the systems and watching what was able to keep up and what wasn't. They're going to start working on the things that weren't able to keep up, and hopefully that'll help smooth the game out a bit. I've been playing a lot of Domination, I'll be honest, simply because it seems to play a lot smoother than Conquest Large does, and I think that that's largely in part due in part to just the smaller scale of everything makes it a lot easier on the netcode and the servers. So if you're having some issues playing Conquest or Rush or Obliteration, and you're having some rubber banding issues, I highly advise that you play Team Deathmatch or Domination for a little bit until they start working on the server stability, because it definitely needs to be looked at and definitely has to be addressed, or else we're going to be looking at quite the crapshoot of statistics and gameplay. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for the next couple days during this patch, because there's going to be people downloading it and installing it, people playing it, people raging, people criticizing, so it's going to be a community nightmare probably for the next couple days after that update is pushed. But I think it's for the best that they start patching everything. Now, they've been telling us that they've been working on fixing the game, and that they've been just like cranking away at the computers, and if that's the case, I'm totally fine with where the game's at right now. I would just like to see it in a much better place in the next couple months. You guys will remember Battlefield 3 was sort of the same way for about the first 6 months or so. It was a little harsh to play, but it was getting to the point where the server stability was getting better by about the 3rd month. We're in that same area, so I don't think that there can be too much more expected for Battlefield 4. The thing with DICE and EA is that they're pushed to release these games, and it's not like Call of Duty. Call of Duty, they use the same engine, they use the same code, they pretty much just copy-paste player animations and give them new skins and whatnot, so there really isn't a whole lot that they change. And each development team still has 2 years to make it. Well, DICE has 2 years to make Battlefield, but they start from the ground up each title with a new engine. They've been doing new engines, these massive maps, a whole bunch of code for the destruction. Like, there's a lot more that goes into Battlefield in the same 2 years it takes them to make Call of Duty. So there's going to be bumps in the road unless they start making these 3-year games. But if they make these games 3-year games, then it's not going to be frequent enough to keep people on board. So I think that they could also sort of address this by asking EA to give DICE more money, take in some more employees, and have a development team. And I think that a really cool way to do it would be to have a development team working on Battlefield, and then a separate development team working on Bad Company. That would be epic. We go Battlefield 4, then Bad Company 3, then Battlefield 5, then Bad Company 4, you know, whatever, however order they want to do this. I think that could be a really cool way to sort of mix it up. Or even in that in-between year, have part of your dev team work on making just a totally different version of Battlefield. That way, each team has about 3.5–4 years to work on making the game as tight as possible. Now, that's a long time to keep things under wraps, but I think at the end of the day, that would be a really cool way to have insanely smooth launches, and hopefully it would just make life a heck of a lot easier for the players and for the development team. So go to the BattleLog forums, let DICE know what you think needs to be changed, and hopefully they will address that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm LevelUp here at OnPointTactical. This is video number 101. Thank you for the 230 some odd subscribers that are out there. Have a good one, and take it easy.